Okay. Third time's charm. Or 38th. At this point, who knows? Today, we are talking about journaling. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, my name is Sydney. I am a software engineer as well as a YouTube content creator. I focus a lot on building and figuring out healthy mindset, organization, as well as productivity habits to help you, as well as myself honestly, have a better life. Now, as you can tell by the content on this channel, I like being a software engineer and I like being able to teach others to try and figure out how they can break into the tech industry. And as fun as it is to being an engineer, being a developer, breaking code, fixing code, trying to solve problems and figure out how you can create a creative solution to any problems that you might have. There's definitely a dark side to all of the money, all of the inflated God complexes, as well as staring at a computer for more than 12 hours at a time. In a professional setting, it can be really repetitive when it comes to a different project that you're doing. You might be doing the same thing over and over again. Maybe your company isn't necessarily ready for any innovative jobs that you might want to look at, maybe want to do in another programming language potentially. Maybe right now you don't like the programming language that you're working in or practicing for interviews with, or you just plain don't align with the company's values in general. And one of my personal favorites, the very long hours, especially when you are on call and somebody broke a line of code, which broke the entire support portal, application, everything, just because there wasn't
a semicolon.
In the unfortunate event that you encounter any of these cons being a software engineer or developer, and you definitely will, this can be a great opportunity for you to start potentially learning another programming language, potentially start learning a couple of new libraries, maybe start upping your skills in the language that you already do know, or just getting a new job in general. But to do these things, you're gonna need a project idea. And if you are anything like me, we are not good at figuring out different project ideas on the fly. I know a lot of experienced devs who love to tell our little baby dev friends that the biggest solution to coming up with project ideas is to solve a problem that you might encounter or solve a problem that one of your friends or family members have encountered in the past. There's also the alternative to actually mocking out one of your favorite apps or favorite websites and just see if you can put any different features on there. There's also ways that you can potentially start looking at applications to solve some of their other problems, maybe a couple of bugs that you might notice in their websites or applications. Either way, if you're looking to make something better in your life, in your work life, in your personal life, I would really highly suggest journaling. What's that? Why are you suggesting
You write on paper instead of write code. What is wrong with you? You're not a real programmer.
But before you guys start lighting your torches, please hear me out. The whole process of developing a project from start to finish takes a lot of planning, a lot of organization, a lot of time to figure out what exactly the problem is, try and figure out how you're going to solve that problem to actually go through the steps for the solution, as well as tracking your progress as you go. And managing your ideas, your products, your progress, and your tools is one of the most important things that you need to do to keep going. Now, how do we necessarily do all of that? Well, normally we write everything down or put it in some type of software system that helps us keep track of all the progress that we've made. So why can't the same process hold true for when we are tracking our progress as a developer, a baker, a candlestick maker? That's actually a trick question. It's the same thing. It's the same process. Now, what I mean when I say journaling, I am meaning the process of writing down in free flow or stream of conscious the thoughts, the ideas, the problems that you might be having when it comes to any of your everyday activities, and just having them in a very nice communal space to actually get them out of your head, get yourself organized, and being able to be a little bit more focused. This process is typically called offloading. And for those of you watching this video who aren't necessarily in a career that is in the tech industry, offloading is still a great and productive process to get you much more mindful about your thoughts. It really helps when it comes to organizing the things that you need to do, the priorities that you have to do. It's just a really great way to keep you inspired and focused throughout your day. Now, when it comes to my personal experience, it is incredibly important for me to start offloading as soon as I get up in the morning. After I've meditated, my pistons are firing, all of my thoughts are spinning around in my head after I've woken up from a dream, after I've woken up from just my sleep in general. It is all go, 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 go. It is really important for me to look at how I can better just put my thoughts on a piece of paper. After a while, maybe I'll start looking at them and seeing if there are any ideas or concepts or just anything that really is important to me that might need to be put on my to-do list or taken into reflection. And it just really helps me, especially when I go into my work mode, try and get a little bit more focused when it comes to my office hours. It really helps me start organizing a lot of my thoughts while I'm trying to figure out what my problems are and what solutions that I can help myself come up with when I'm looking at my stories and just in general when I'm trying to collaborate with my teammates. Now I can tell you all day that offloading has been really great for me and my experience has been awesome, but unless you guys have a little bit of facts behind it, you're gonna think it's bullshit, which I totally understand. So let's talk about the more concrete evidence of offloading and journaling throughout your day. When you start writing down physically with a piece of paper and pen in hand what exactly your stream of conscious is, it's like you're giving yourself an external storage space to put down your ideas and concepts, especially when you feel like your brain is at its mental capacity. You might be talking to clients today, you might be filming a video today, and there's a lot of loud noises in the background, and that's really irritating. Being able to have access to your thoughts and ideas, writing them down on a piece of paper, sometimes just puts a lot of things into perspective and how you can go about your day with a better solution to your problems. And when you're done with your current task, you now physically have a place to reference any of your problems, your solutions, your thoughts, or emotions at a later time and capacity. You also get the added benefit of having a recorded history or timeline of your progress for whatever your task may be. This is especially useful for any long-term projects that you might be working on for an extended amount of time. You may need to stop and pause and figure out what exactly is a better solution to a problem, and maybe you've already referenced whatever the problem is you've encountered and potentially start looking at solutions that you may have written down or discussed with a team member or a friend. This also helps you keep track of what you still need to get done during that long-term project as well. And if that hasn't convinced you enough, then maybe having a space to record your accomplishments might be a better reason to start offloading your thoughts. Imposter syndrome in any capacity can be brutal if it is not squashed or taken care of right away. And so at any time that you feel like you don't deserve whatever you're doing, you don't feel like you've accomplished enough in whatever capacity that you're doing something, it is really great to have a list of just awesome accomplishments, awesome wins that you've made so far throughout your weeks, throughout your months, throughout your years. And it's really great to reflect and go back to those points in time because that gives you momentum. That gives you more momentum to build that confidence, to build yourself up and make you feel like you can challenge anything in the world. You can take on any type of big task and really feel good about what you were able to accomplish in that moment. And then overall, journaling or just offloading your thoughts is incredibly great for your acuity and focus and creativity. Again, going back to my first reason why you should be offloading when it comes to figuring out and organizing your thoughts externally, it is just really awesome to give yourself that space to solve a problem in a better capacity. You're actually thinking outside of the box, outside of your mind. Your eyes get to take a much needed break from a computer screen. You get to stretch. You get to start nimbling, stretching out your fingers, I guess. And once you write things down, you typically tend to remember those smaller details versus keeping all of that junk in your head, which therefore helps you articulate your thoughts a little bit better to actually communicate to another person whatever the solution or problem might be. And you're more likely to not sit on a roadblock or problem that you have. A part of what offloading does is help you see the big picture. And so after you've written down whatever thoughts that you have, you can start honing in on those little details to help you come to a solution. So now that I have convinced you to actually start offloading your thoughts, how do you get started? Take a pen, take a pencil, take pieces of paper, a notepad, or a journal, and start doing the following. Date your entries for future usage. This is really important to remember and reflect the state of mind that you were in that particular day and time. I really appreciate myself when I have a specific date when I have written down a certain problem for myself, and when I can go back to it and see what exactly I've done to start looking and investigating at the problem and help myself kind of build that progress to a solution. I also highly recommend that when you start keeping journal entries, you start breaking them up into categories. Maybe start with 4 specifically, one called solutions, problems, ideas, and wins. And if you need to get a little bit more specific, maybe put in lessons and just miscellaneous things. Sometimes your thoughts can't be free-flowing, sometimes you don't need them to be, or you might not be in a mental capacity to actually have them as free-flowing as you want them to. So if you need to categorize any of what you were trying to offload, putting any of your ideas in a certain space so you're not like writing all over the place and you can't read any of what you're writing, it's totally okay to group any of your thoughts together. Just make sure that you indicate what exactly those categories are for yourself so you can remember to refer back to them a little bit later. Also, if you're having a hard time keeping up with actually trying to journal your thoughts down every day, I would suggest finding your favorite pen, your favorite pencil, your favorite journal, your favorite piece of paper, and start giving yourself that time to actually look at, feel, experience whatever that pen and paper does for you, and then start writing things down. Since I really love bullet journaling, I tend to start experimenting with different types of notebooks to help me get into the flow, the process of actually wanting to start journaling. And so I've been experimenting with the Stalogy notebook. This is, I believe, A5. That is the size of this. And then I also have my personal Stalogy notebook where I do all of my personal bullet journaling for all of my separate meetings that aren't at work. And if you don't typically like how gridded pieces of paper or journals set up, then I would suggest looking at the minimalist art notebooks. This one in particular, it's super full, but this one is a dot notebook. I really just love how the dots are really clear. You're able to see all of what you want. You're able to shape any like type of shapes and everything in here. I really like being able to put like different colors and patterns in here. So I really love these. I'm experimenting right now. So find any types of writing utensils and paper or notebooks that work for you. I would also recommend to start using a timer for yourself or a calendar invite or notification for yourself to actually physically sit down in a space and write just any stream of consciousness that you have for about 10 minutes. This is a really good space to brainstorm any of those next ideas that you have for a coding project or just a project in general that you need to start going on with. And let me know in the comments below on how your progress is. I would really love to know if you guys want more of these types of videos, if you guys want me to suggest different alternatives to offloading or journaling, and we'll kind of see where that goes from there. Make sure that you like and subscribe. I really appreciate you guys watching this video, and I'll see you later. The helicopter has gone over my building. I think that it's been 2 or 3, but they've circled at least 6 times. And I'm waiting for the next one to kind of come past because I can't tell if you guys can hear any of this bullshit or not. So, I don't know why I'm so mad about this today, but it is so annoying. So why can't the same process hold true? God. Everybody wants to make noise today. Should have done this earlier.